Usyk a tougher fight than Wilder, Tyson?
Usyk?
Yeah.
Hell no. Are you joking?
Little midget beat a bodybuilder. Well, I ain't a bodybuilder, sucker.
If he's a little middleweight, and if he's no good, then easy money. But he knows how good Oleksandr Usyk is.
He's scared of Usyk. That's the main thing.
Fight fans, welcome back. When Usyk first touched heavyweight gold, the world was a much different place.
Addressed the Russian people moments ago, announcing the start of a military special operation, in his words, to demilitarize Ukraine.
Now, aiming to shine a beacon of hope across his war-torn nation, he stands as their true embodiment.
Ukrainians fight like nobody else in the world.
A man solid, resolute, and fearless.
Ukrainians never give up. They always go to the end.
Conceding the lion's share and succumbing to demands, he now also provides boxing fans an opportunity.
Undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
Two big men with world-class pedigree and charisma. One epic encounter that will decide the true generational sovereign.
It's the blue ribbon fight. They're both in their prime.
Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk.
They can run, but they can't hide.
Welcome to a Motivedia presentation.
I'm the dauntless in the waters. I've knocked out the biggest puncher in boxing history. I am the man.
Here they are, face-to-face challenger and champion, the rematch the world has been waiting for.
Everyone said, swerve Oleksandr Usyk. He's a tough fight. You don't want to fight him. AJ said, no, I want to be undisputed. Give me Usyk.
From Oleksandr Usyk. Shot from Usyk, back comes Joshua. And again, let's bet up Trent. Oh, good shot from Usyk. Returning to his homeland with the belt.
After watching that, the both of them was shit. It was one of the worstest heavyweight title fights I have ever seen.
The dust on the desert had barely settled before Tyson Fury took to social media to voice his disapproval at the spectacle delivered by Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk.
Tip, 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 tip. Didn't do any damage at all to AJ, and he definitely ain't doing any damage to a man like me. And that's it. Quick flash in the pan. Been a heavyweight 2 years. So when you've been heavyweight 10, 15 years, come back and we talk.
I'll tell you this. Anthony Joshua fought Oleksandr Usyk back to back. No f***ing problems. No questions. No long negotiations.
Since then, contradictions and inconsistencies appeared to have rubbed some fans up the wrong way.
Usyk, you and your team are worth 30%. You either take it or you leave it.
Pretty bad. I accept your offer. 70-30.
Usyk really called his bluff. It's an unbelievable split. It's not going to be the money Tyson wants because it's at Wembley.
It's not going to do with money, it's principle. Tyson's the A-side. Tyson's the draw.
Well, for some reason, magically, when there's a really tough guy in front of you, you don't make that fight as quick.
You've got to go where you can make the most money. Whatever people think about it, that is their right.
One thing I'll say is, wherever I can get the most money for my next fight, that's where I'll fight. And if I have to fight a middleweight to do that, or a light heavyweight, whoever it is, I'll fight.
If this fight doesn't happen, it's only down to one man, isn't it? So, just fight Oleksandr Usyk, mate. Put boxing first.
He's a fighting man, but he's a businessman second, and money doesn't influence his decision.
Says who? Says who? He wants $500 million to fight Alexander Usyk.
Yeah.
Despite his diminishing belt collection and unconvincing flirtations with retirement, in the eyes of many, Fury still retains his status as the world's #1 heavyweight.
Known as the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury!
A self-confirmed family man and purveyor of wisdom outside the ropes, once the bell rings, Tyson is primed to win by any means necessary.
Say, yeah, you're outboxed there.
And he is still. We are Spartans!
His 3 fights with Deontay Wilder set the tone.
I ain't scared of nobody. I'll come in your backyard, baby.
But it has been a career-long trend for the Gypsy King, proving the critics and the doubters wrong.
I like, how he tries to sell the fight, but when it comes to skills, he don't got the skills that Klitschko has.
I'm going to go and make the unpopular decision and go with Dillian White, possibly stoppage.
Wilder definitely 100% knocks Fury out. 100%.
In his most recent outing, the Withenshaw Warrior dispatched of domestic rival Derek Chisora in round 12, as the ref decided enough was enough.
Tyson Usyk is ringside tonight. We saw him goading you as well.
Where's Oleksandr Usyk, the rabbit?
The main thing is to look into his eyes and see how he's scared of Usyk.
I already done one Ukrainian Klitschko dinner, and I'll do you as well, Gaffy T. First of all, let's talk about Usyk, because now I can.
Whether Fury's negotiation antics serve as a mind game or as a sign of his priorities, his opponent on April 29th plans to do his scheming with sleight of hand and foot.
I mean, if Usyk were to become undisputed and beat Fury, Usyk for me goes down as one of the greatest fighters of all time. That's what's on the line.
Thank you so much.
As Fury sat and jested his rivals, some 4,000 miles away, Oleksandr Usyk was attempting to bask in the aftermath.
He sinks to his knees, and it is repeat, not revenge, in the desert.
And still the unified heavyweight champion of the world.
While his victim, Anthony Joshua, held counsel on the microphone, spilling his innermost thoughts to the world.
Oh, you don't throw combinations like Rocky Marciano. Because I ain't 14 stone, that's why. I'm 18 stone, I'm heavy.
Usyk stood safe in the knowledge that he had bettered the Watford man across 24 hard-fought rounds.
Oleksandr will do it. Perfect job.
Holding 3 world titles, along with the coveted Ring magazine strap and a tentative claim on lineal status, Usyk's shoulders lay draped in the colors of his nation.
Usyk definitely looked like he wanted to fight. I don't think Usyk goes and stands up at ringside and stares you out and then walks away from any negotiation.
Regarding Tyson Fury, he's a very good athlete. He's a nice sportsman who I respect, but he's not that cool as he used to talk about himself.
Not one of these to jump on the gravy train. I've always been impressed with Usyk. You know, look at time ago. I've always knew Usyk. This guy can box in his sleep. You know, he's born, bred to fight, so he's as real as it gets.
A man accustomed to warfare in every sense, Usyk later made it known that he had only one further battle in mind: a showdown with boxing's premier heavyweight attraction.
He's chasing the undisputed fight. He's the person that is giving the advantages away when it comes to the financials, when it comes to the physicals, when it comes to all these things. He's the guy that is chasing that down.
Usyk's a hero. You know, he shows he's more about legacy than anything else.
It's like what they say, poker face. You know, I'm sure both fighters feeling the same thing, but you just can't show it.
Just like Evander Holyfield before him, the Southpaw has adapted perfectly to the land of the giants.
He is an unbelievable fighter as well, Usyk. We saw that with the 2 fights that he's had with Anthony Joshua recently, that he can deal with the big guys.
Slowly bulking up in size while retaining his punch output and a wide variety of skills.
Usyk is getting a bit nastier with his punches, and he's showing him his own power, and Chisora looks bewildered and a bit lost now.
In the rematch, Joshua was able to occasionally shut down Usyk's offensive moves and win rounds. Will his next opponent be able to take that one step further and finally remove his zero?
But he's not going to be Tyson moving like running. He got to eventually fight sometime in the fight.
And Usyk, I don't rate him either. He's a pumped up middleweight. And he's had a few fights at heavyweight. And all of a sudden people think he's some legendary heavyweight champion.
Tyson says that he doesn't want to box me, fight me, because I'm not of his level. That's because he's afraid of me.
When somebody talks to me about Usyk cannot punch, I always say, ask Tony Bellew.
Usyk's the only one who will be able to consistently make Tyson Fury miss and pay for 12 rounds. It's just, can he keep him off? That's the big thing.
While giving up 6 inches in height and 7 inches in reach, Usyk does potentially present a style and a stature that has previously caused Fury issues.
This is a heavyweight via light heavyweight, you know. No disrespect to Steve, he's the best opponent I've probably faced because he's a world champion. I've never faced a world champion before.
And a 44-pound difference in weight, although this is the heaviest we've seen Steve Cunningham at 210.
Philadelphia's Steve Cunningham found success by launching an explosive overhand right.
He's knocked out! Cunningham has floored Fury!
By Tyson was also badly cut and forced to show championship resolve against Swedish southpaw Otto Wallen.
I did, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed chasing a bit of blood in my mouth. All on a good spirits, you know. It was a good fight. I enjoyed it. I hope the fans enjoyed it.
Not a man born from his mother can beat Tyson Fury.
The later version of Fury has come in heavier, using his vast frame to jab, grab, and physically exhaust opponents with around 270 pounds of weight.
Usyk's very good in the clinch, but Tyson's a ginormous man who's good in the clinch himself. But it's very difficult to deal with someone like Tyson who, once they get up close and are able to do that.
Fury's adaptability makes any fight an uphill task for his adversaries.
Got him in your pocket. Get him out! Get him out to fight!
The 34-year-old can comfortably switch stances, fight inside or box at a distance.
Experiencing the problems that most fighters do against Tyson Fury. It's that gap. You can't close that gap without getting hit.
At times he will wrestle and maul with Usyk, or feint and measure out a rangy jab.
Tyson Fury is the bigger man, and Tyson Fury knows how to take advantage of that.
Fury may drop some extra timber and come in around the 250 mark to use the jerking style that so effectively offset Vladimir Klitschko.
Trying to talk to Vladimir Klitschko in there, Tyson Fury, as if to say he's not intimidated.
Tyson Fury that fought Vladimir Klitschko, that fought Deontay Wilder the first time. I believe that Tyson Fury gave Usyk all kind of fits. The move and the reflex Tyson Fury. I believe this Tyson Fury right now, I believe Usyk will beat.
Oleksandr will seek to circle Fury, employing his phenomenal stamina, head movement, fluidity, and accurate blitzes.
The way that Usyk always trains, he thinks outside the box, and I think that's going to allow him to bring something new to the table. But it's whether he can sustain it.
Getting in, working, and getting the overwhelming on the inside.
People think it's just going to be one-sided Fury victory, but I think it's a tough fight for Fury.
Surely, but it's a 12-round championship fight, and Joshua is improving.
Usyk was hurt to the body in round 9 of his fight with Joshua.
How elusive will Usyk be under this sort of an onslaught, this sort of pressure?
Yet fired back strongly in the 10th.
He wants that Fury fight, he wants Undisputed, and he's in the driving seat again, Usyk.
I feel like I lost it in the later rounds. In the last 2 to 3 rounds, I threw it away. But I got beat by the better man. He's a really talented fighter, really good.
Chisora caused him concern with his early fight pressure.
Moving forward adds to the power of impact. A good right hands from Chisora. It's been a decent start.
Fury is not averse to sneaking in uppercuts or body shots, and he can sustain the 12-round action better than Joshua.
It would not be easy, Don. It would be hell to get to the finish line. But if he could go through that hell, you can't count on that. Would be interesting.
The choice of referee could also be stylistically significant.
And he's the unified heavyweight champion, so he's had a fantastic career. But I think that I do a job on him. And I can't just think it, I don't just want to talk it, I want to prove it.
So say good night to the bad guy. Come on. The last time you're going to see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you.
I'll obliterate him, he's a middleweight. He's a middleweight, he's pumped up middleweight. He was a middleweight in the amateur, 75 kilos. I was a super heavyweight at 11-year-old.
I'm not interested in the foreign world. I'm actually, if he comes to the fight, I'll promise you I'll slap him in the mouth. How's that?
Oleksandr Usyk, you might have heard of him. He's got a few belts. He wants to be undisputed.
Don't know who he is. Sounds like a sucker to me, though.
As Usyk is a genial, classy character, much of Fury's pre-fight trash talk will likely fall flat.
The other thing is Tyson Fury's best performances are when he gets into the other guy's heads.
I ain't coming to America to play tip-tap boxing. I'm coming here to destroy cruiserweights. And to me, you're only a few pounds over the cruiserweight limit.
When it comes to mind games, conquer 8.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Can't be beaten.
I'm looking forward to it.
You ain't gonna beat me.
I honestly think...
Definitely not. You better look at me when I'm talking to you, because you're getting knocked spark out, me. There's no messing around, there's no dancing. It's either me or you.
Nothing's going to get into Usyk's head. And will that, the fact that he can't get into his head, then when he's whispering in his language to his coaches, will that get into Fury's head?
With a big money location to be determined, the Manchester man would prefer a smaller ring so he can pin down the cat and limit his side-to-side movement and escape routes.
I think Fury is big enough, unorthodox enough, competent enough,
And if anything's all wrong for Usyk, it's Tyson Fury.
I'm setting a landmark here. 270 plus, 6'9", stop me if you can. Like a steamroller coming towards you.
After a decade of paying his dues, batting away fellow challengers and contenders, Fury has made it to the pinnacle.
We can't play with what Tyson Fury is, guys. We know what we're looking at. Yeah, he'll lay off anything, he's fine, right? The guy can fight.
Following an extended absence from combat, his ring return has been nothing short of remarkable and only serves to enhance his legacy.
I'm an ultimate boxer. I can box southpaw, orthodox, I've got a jab and a right hand and an uppercut. And that's going to be more than capable for somebody of a Joe Frazier style, 6'1", who's going to come forward, mill away, try and wear me down.
But what do you think is the holdup?
Fear is the mind killer.
Usyk's legacy is already established. Used to rumbling with much bigger men, his refreshing attitude, relentless motor, and willingness to run through walls to prevail have endeared him to the wider sporting public.
These big guys that are saying this guy's too small, that means nothing. And he's just proved it means nothing, so he can get in and mix it with the best of them.
All in the face of national and personal turmoil.
It's been his most torrid round. He smiles through the gum shield. Good round for Joshua.
It will be size and skill against talent and tenacity.
Usyk is going to give him everything that he has.
Speaks about fighting smaller, tricky opponents. He knows they're difficult.
When it comes to ability, Usyk's the best heavyweight in the world by a country mile.
A 70-30 split in terms of currency, but winner takes all in terms of legacy.
When he senses and he feels the strength start sapping, he goes to work, and that's what he does.